Long before iron roads crossed the earth, beyond rolling savannas and whispering forests, there stood a village called Oduoma, where life moved with the rhythm of drums and seasons obeyed ancient spirits. But peace had abandoned the people. Death walked freely. Children fell asleep and never woke. Farmers collapsed beside their crops. Mothers mourned before sunrise became noon. No sickness explained it. No priest could stop it. Every night, fires burned outside huts as protection, yet shadows still crept inside homes. Among the villagers lived Obinna, the greatest hunter Oduoma had ever known. His arrows never missed, and his courage was spoken of even in distant lands. Yet strength meant nothing against an enemy no spear could pierce. One evening, Obinna buried his younger brother, the third burial that moon. As soil covered the body, grief hardened into anger. He stood before the elders and declared, "If death hunts us, then I will hunt death." The crowd gasped. To challenge death was madness. Even speaking such words tempted fate. The oldest elder whispered, "No man fights what the gods created." But Obinna's eyes burned like wildfire. That night, under a blood-red moon, he prepared charms, arrows, and sacred ropes blessed by forgotten priests. While the village slept in fear, a hunter stepped into the forest. Not to kill an animal, but to capture the end of life itself. And far away, unseen eyes watched him begin the impossible journey. The forest beyond Oduoma was older than memory. Trees twisted like ancient guardians, and silence ruled where birds once sang. People said spirits breathed there. Obinna walked deeper than any hunter dared. Each step felt heavier, as though the earth warned him to turn back. At midnight, wind stopped completely. Then he heard it. Footsteps behind him, slow, patient. He turned, nothing. But the air grew cold. Remembering his grandmother's teachings, Obinna placed powdered chalk in a circle and waited. Spirits revealed themselves only to the patient. Hours passed. Suddenly, footprints appeared on the soil, forming without feet. Something unseen walked toward him. Obinna's heart pounded, yet he did not run. Instead, he cast his enchanted net forged from sacred palm fibers and iron dust. The forest screamed. A dark shape struggled within the trap, shifting like smoke trying to become human. The voice echoed everywhere at once. "Who dares touch me?" Obinna tightened the ropes. "I am Obinna of Oduoma, and today, death becomes prey." Lightning split the sky. For the first time since creation, death had been captured. Bound within the sacred net, death slowly formed the shape of a tall shadow with burning hollow eyes. Its voice carried neither anger nor fear, only certainty. "You do not understand what you have done." Obinna ignored the warning and dragged the being toward a carved stone cage prepared by village priests long ago for evil spirits. When dawn came, Oduoma witnessed the impossible. Death imprisoned. Celebration erupted instantly. Days passed, and no one died. The sick recovered. Elders regained strength. Even wounded animals rose again. Joy replaced mourning. Obinna became a legend. But strange things followed. Goats injured by predators never healed. Warriors wounded in accidents screamed endlessly without release. Crops infected by rot refused to perish, spreading decay across farms. Life continued. But suffering never ended. Still, blinded by victory, the villagers praised Obinna. Only the eldest woman watched silently. Because balance had begun to break. Soon, the village changed. An old man trapped beneath a fallen tree begged for death, but none came. A woman burned by fire lived in endless pain without escape. Even predators multiplied wildly. Nothing died. Food became scarce. Rivers filled with dying but living fish unable to decay. The land itself groaned under endless existence. Fear returned, greater than before. The elders confronted Obinna. You stopped death, but you also stopped peace. That night, Obinna visited the cage. Death sat calmly. You see now, it said softly. I am not your enemy. I am completion. For the first time, doubt entered the hunter's heart. Had he saved his people? Or doomed the world? Death revealed ancient truth. Life and I were born together, it said. Without me, pain has no ending. Growth has no space. Obinna remembered his brother's suffering before dying, the relief that finally came. Tears filled his eyes. He realized humanity feared death but misunderstood its mercy. Yet pride changed his decision. If he released death, the village might hate him. If he didn't, suffering would spread forever. Outside, cries of endless agony echoed through Oduoma. The hunter who defeated death now faced a greater enemy. His own mistake. Hunger worsened. Animals overran farms. Injured warriors begged Obinna to undo his act. Whispers spread. He cursed us. The hero became blamed. Children once inspired by him now hid when he passed. Even the elders demanded action. That night, mobs gathered near the cage, unsure whether to free death or destroy Obinna. The hunter realized something painful. Humans celebrate miracles until consequences arrive. Standing before the cage, he finally asked, "If I free you, will you spare my people?" Death answered gently, "I spare no one. I serve all equally." Truth carried no comfort. Desperate, Obinna offered himself. "Take me instead." Death paused. "No man escapes me forever. But sacrifice restores balance." A bargain formed. Death would return gradually, allowing life to continue naturally, but Obinna's time would end when balance returned. The hunter accepted without hesitation. For the first time, death smiled. At sunrise, Obinna broke the sacred seals. Wind roared through Oduoma. Death rose like mist and vanished into the world. Moments later, an old suffering woman exhaled peacefully and passed. Not with terror. With relief. Nature corrected itself. Crops renewed. Injured animals rested forever. Life felt meaningful again. The village rejoiced. But Obinna grew weaker. His sacrifice had begun. Knowing his end approached, Obinna walked through Oduoma one last time. Children played again. Laughter returned. No statues honored him. Few understood what he had given. At the forest edge, Death appeared beside him, not frightening now, but calm. You hunted bravely, Death said. Obinna smiled. And learned too late. He lay beneath a great tree as sunset painted the sky gold. Without fear. The hunter closed his eyes. Generations passed. Elders told children of a man who once trapped death to save humanity. They thought that death was not cruelty, but balance. At the forest entrance to the lone tree called Obinna's Rest, where hunters left offerings before journeys. Because courage was not defeating death, but understanding life. And sometimes, the greatest heroes are remembered not for victory, but for restoring harmony to the world.